Hello everyone and welcome to multibiomics. Today we are going to start a new series that is on Git and GitHub. Now Git is the industry standard used worldwide for version control. Now imagine you have so many versions of the same project. Many people had collaborated and each one of them had contributed towards the same project. Now instead of mailing different versions of the same work back and forth, you can use a version control system. The most popular one is Git. So we can download the Git tools in our system and work locally in our computer and push it. Now here comes GitHub. GitHub is built on top of Git, where you can store the repositories and you can share your projects. You can also collaborate in the same projects. So in this video, we are going to download Git and GitHub CLI. CLI is the command line interface which allows you to work from your own computer and push your work on GitHub without even opening a browser. You can make a repository, authenticate your ID, make changes to your work, and you can push it on GitHub right from your terminal. Now, if you have a Windows system, you might have heard that you could not practice or you cannot work with version control through command line or through your terminal, but that's not correct because GitHub is a standalone software which has the same commands regardless of what operating system you're using, whether it is Linux, whether it is Mac OS, or it is Bash or command line. So the common commands that we'll be using will be git init, git add, git commit, and git push. So without any further ado, let's start installing Git and GitHub CLI using PowerShell. So for that, you have to open PowerShell terminal. In your search bar, just type PowerShell and open it. And after opening, you can see on the screen something like this. So let's begin with the installation, and to install Git and GitHub CLI, we are going to use winget for installation. So write winget space install and space hyphen ID git.git, where G and G must be in capital, and then you give a space -e and hyphen source, and the source is winget. If this command looks confusing, do not worry. It follows a simple pattern. First, you have the keyword that is winget. It is the Windows package manager. Next, you have the keyword that is install. Install is the action we are telling the winget to do something, and that's installation. And then we have hyphen ID. ID means we are specifying the package by its unique ID. Git.git is the Git's package ID, and the flag -e stands for exact. So winget installs only that package which matches exactly this ID. So it will only download git.git and not any other package that has Git name in it. So it will totally match the ID. Now finally, you have hyphen source winget. It tells it to search the official winget repository. So the entire command simply means install the Git package with the exact ID git.git from winget repository. Press enter and you can see that downloading has begun. You wait for a while and you can see download is done and we are installing the package right now. So you can see on the screen that your Git has been successfully installed. And now after this, we are moving on to install GitHub CLI. CLI is command line interface, and again we are using winget. So almost similar procedure, that is winget space install space hyphen ID space, you have to write GitHub. Okay, and here G is in capital and H is in capital .CLI. Now again you give a space -e hyphen sources, and then the source is winget. Okay, there's a mistake, it's not sources. Now we are correcting it, so hyphen source, right? And the source is winget. And now if I press enter, you can see that CLI is also being downloaded. Now close and reopen the PowerShell, and you can check by typing git -version, or to check GitHub CLI, git gh -version. Press enter and we can see on the screen that it has been successfully installed. Now we are going to set our GitHub ID for this account in our computer, and we are going to configure it. And for that we are using git command git config, and we are going to give a global configuration. So git config -global user.name. You have to type whatever your username is. Next, we are going to enter the email ID. So the same command. So git config --global user.email, and you have to write your email within double quotes, just as you have given your name under double quotes. Okay, and after that you have to press enter. And so now we are going to authenticate it. So for authentication, you have to use GHAuth login, and you have to choose github.com as the option. You can use your keyboard, and then here you have to choose HTTPS, and when you press enter you have to choose Y for yes, and then log in with the web browser, and then you have to copy the code that is given on the screen. Once you have copied, just press enter and the browser will be opened. And here what you can do is click on continue and paste by Control V. Okay, and the code is pasted, and you just click on continue, and you can see this dialog box here. You can authorize. You can either use GitHub Mobile or you can use verify by email, and you can go to your email, copy the code, and you can come back here and you can paste. Okay, and now you come to your terminal and you can see you're already logged in. Here we can verify by giving the command ghauth status. So you can see you're already logged in. Right, now we are going to test. So for testing, we can see gh repo list and your profile name. So my profile name, I'm just entering after the list. This is my profile name. You will be writing your profile name, your GitHub profile name, and you can see whatever repo I'm having has been showing, and some forked repo are also showing over here. Some are generated almost 2 years ago and some almost like 14 days ago. Now let's create a brand new local repository and publish it to GitHub. We'll first try creating the GitHub repository. Also, we'll look at some concepts like initialization, staging, and committing. And we'll also try to add some committing message. And finally, we'll try to push it in the remote repository. So before starting any work using Git, you have to initialize, and for that we're using a command known as git init. To understand the function of initialization, let us try to create a repo directly without initializing first. Now this will help us understand why initialization is an important step in Git workflow. After that, we'll fix the issue right way and complete the setup. Now, creating a new repository needs creation of a new folder in your computer first, and only then we are going to initialize by using the command git init. Init is the short form of initialization. After you made any changes in your local folder in your computer, you have to stage all those changes. Staging is nothing but you're making those changes ready. You're making them to be ready to just pushed into the remote. A remote is in the cloud, not in your machine. For staging, we are using a command known as git add. After you have added everything, you have to commit that change, and for that you are going to use a command known as git commit. Now git commit comes with a message flag that is written as -m, and you can write any message as in creating why you have made that changes. Now what we are going to do is we are going to create a brand new local repo or repository, and then we are going to do that in your local machine, and then we'll be pushing it into the GitHub account. So first of all, you have to move to the desired directory, and for moving to this desired directory or the desired folder, the command is cd, that is change directory, and in my computer I'm moving to the D drive, and if I'm typing ls, and you can see the list of directories coming here on my screen. Okay, ls is a Unix command which the PowerShell masks this command as ls. The real Windows command is dir or directory, so it will list the directories or the folders that I'm having. Okay, I'm having this folder called multibiomics. I place everything inside this folder. So I'm moving to the folder multibiomics. So the command is cd space multibiomics, and you can see in the command line that my address is being shown as D drive space multibiomics. Now again I'm going to make a new folder, that is mkdir command I'm using for that, and the new folder name I'm keeping it as new repo. So now I'm going to change my directory to the new repo. So I'm writing cd new underscore repo, and I'm listing whatever is there inside this new repo. If I type ls and press enter, you see nothing shown on the screen because it's an empty directory or empty folder. Now we are going to create a local repository, local as in your machine, and then we are going to push it into a GitHub account. For that we have to use GH CLI, GH repo and space create new underscore repo. It's because your folder name is new underscore repo, and that will be your repository's name. And you can either create a private repo or a public repo. For creating a private repo, you can use the flag as -- private, or you can use -- public if you want to keep the repo as a public repo. Then there's another flag that is -- source. So the source is source equal full stop or dot, and -- remote equals origin. Now if I press enter, you can see a message that current directory is not a Git repository. So that is something you should know, that before making that folder to be working with the remote Git profile, you have to initialize Git. That is, you have to use Git init. So you're going to initialize it. Init as in initialization. So you're typing Git init. Now you're ready to create a repo. So repo space create. This is the command that we're using. New repo is the folder name, and you can write any folder name you want, and either you can flag it as a private repo, or but here we are doing it as a public repo. -- source equals dot, and -- remote equals origin. Press enter. So press enter. Okay, so I forgot to write GH in the beginning, so GH and space repo. Now it's going to work likely. Yeah, so you can see the message created repository. You can see here in the command that we have -- remote equals origin. When GitHub creates the remote repository, your local project still needs to know where that repository is located. And this -- remote equals origin, this option automatically creates the connection and names it as origin. From this point on, whenever you run commands like git push, Git already knows exactly which remote repository to use. And now if you see the window where you created the folder, we are getting a folder that is named as .git. That means the Git has been initialized, and now you can push anything inside it into the folder. Now we are going to create a readme file, because every repo must have a readme file which tells about what is there in your repository. We can go to the folder and make that file manually, but I'm just showing you how we can do this through command line as well. So the command here is new item. So for writing new item, N and I should be in capital, new -item, and we are going to name the readme file as readme.md because it's a markdown file. So .md is the extension. So item type is file, so it's a file and not a folder, and you can see it has been generated. So the name is readme.md, and then we are going to add it. We are going to stage that first. Okay, so this is the first step. Git space add, and you can add by pasting the file name. Okay, and after adding you have to commit. So it's like git space commit, and there's a flag -m. That means you are going to write a message, and message why you are committing it. So git commit -m, and you're writing as adding a readme file. So this is the commit message. You can see one file changed, okay, and 0 insertions. Now if you're going back to your repository, and you can see nothing has been changed even once you have committed. You have added and committed. For that you have to use git push, and for git push you have to write the command as git space push, flag is -u origin main. Thing we are going to encounter, we encountered another problem. For understanding what the problem is, there's another command that is git status. So git -status, and when you press enter you can see that we are on the branch master. So there are different branches for your repository. Now remember, we had named the branch as master, but nowadays branch is known as main and not master. So what are branches? Branches are nothing but the different versions of the same project that you're doing. For example, you have done some work and you don't want to make any changes to that previous work. So you make another version of that project and make changes to the another version, and so that if you do not like it, you can just roll back to the previous version. For making each version, you can use a branch. Branches can also be made if more people are collaborating in the same project. So each person will have their own branch, but ultimately there's the original branch which was called masters earlier, and now it is known as main. And yeah, in our workflow, let us see how this naming creates certain issues while pushing, and then we'll be renaming the master branch as main. So you would see what are the steps included there as well. I want to change it, so git branch. Again, I'm getting master, so there's only one branch. So I'm changing my git branch from master to main. For that, I'm using a flag minus capital M main, and now I'm gonna push it. Okay, git space push hyphen u origin main. And now if I press enter, you can see that writing objects 3 of 3, everything has been done so far, nothing, no error, since we have pushed everything successfully. And now we can go to the repo and you can see a readme file is shown. Okay, so likewise, now we are moving on, and let us create some folder structure. So the folder structure would look something like this. So if you want to create inside of a repository, we have a readme.md file, and then we have got a data folder. Inside the data folder, we are having another folder known as sample. Then we are having folders like notebook, script, docs, requirement.txt, and environment.yml. So what are these? Let's not go deep into what are ymls and what are requirements.txt. Let us see that how can we create folders and files right from your computer, and how can we push it. To create a local file and folder and then pushing it into your GitHub, these directories, we can go and manually you can right click and create a new folder, how you do regularly in your Windows. But I'm using here the terminal, and I'm using mkdir to make folders. You can go and check that all the folders are created. So the folders that are created on my computers, data, docs, exercise, all these folders are generated now. Notebooks is empty, scripts are empty, solutions, everything is empty. Okay, so nothing is inside. To make a new Jupyter notebook, so I'm going to VS Code. I'm just saving a new untitled IPYNB format notebook. Okay, notebook file. So I'm going to save it inside my new repo folder, inside the notebooks folder, and I'm going to save it. Let it be empty. I'm not going to write anything because I just want to show you how to push any file or a folder. Right now, since a new file has been created, now I'm using git command, git space add dot. Okay, so when we are using dot, that means everything that has been there on your folders will be staged for commitment, right? So you don't have to name each and every file and folder, so just put a dot or a full stop after add, and then everything which is about to be pushed will be done automatically, will be added for staging automatically. Right now, next, after you are adding, you're using the add command. Now you can use a commit as well. So git space commit and the message flag -m, and inside whatever message you can create. So I'm creating the folder structure. Press enter, and one file changed, 19 insertions. Okay, so the no error message, that means it's successful. Now we are going to git push. So we are pushing okay, and everything has been pushed, and you can go to the repository, go to the new repo, and you can see the new notebook folders is visible, and inside that untitled untitled 1 IPYNB is visible. Now it's loading, let it load. Till then, we'll go back to the folder, and we see that in the exercise folder, I'm gonna create a new document, a Word document, and let us try to push it. So git add dot, and then here again we are going to write git space commit and -m flag, and then here whatever message you want to write. So it's like another commit. The message is totally up to you. and please keep it inside the quotes, and you can see nothing error. So now I'm gonna write git push, and everything has been pushed. And if you can come and see inside, you can see another folder that is exercise, and then we have got a Word document uploaded here on your GitHub repository. So empty folders are not seen in your repo unless and until you have any file or subfolders, and then you have to push it, and then it is visible in your GitHub repository. Now you have to remember that we have used git add. So first you add, then you commit, and commit with a message, and for message you're using a flag that is -m, and then at last you are pushing everything to your remote repository. So that's it for today's video. I hope you learned something new. This is just one step in your Git journey, and see you in the next video. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who's learning Git. If you have any queries or any question, you can comment down below. Until then, take care.